Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about my everyday carry for when I'm traveling. So for this video, I'll be leaving off most tech items that I would pack whenever taking trips. I'll be making a full video later on the different types of items that I would normally carry as with relating to tech. But for this one specifically, I wanted to focus on things that I would typically have in my pocket at all times, either when I'm going to the airport or when I'm leaving the hotel to walk around during the day. And these are just some smaller, simple things that would typically not be first on people's priority list for things when packing, but they've saved my butt several times when traveling around. And they're just really convenient to have, and they don't take up a lot of space. And most importantly, they're all TSA approved as well. So it's just something you can toss in your pocket, something you can toss in a purse, and they'll come in handy more than you would think. So let's take a closer look at the things that I have on my person at all times while traveling. So one of my favorite things to have on me at all times is a pen. And this has come in handy in so many different situations, whether it's for writing down a phone number, for writing down directions, for taking some notes, for making a to-do list of things to do, and if I'm in a location. There's just so many different uses, and the nice thing is that you can easily throw a pen in a pocket or a purse, and whenever you need it, it's always available. The one that I typically carry is the Fisher Space Pen. This one is really popular with most EDC blogs, and it's a little bit on the pricier side. It costs $16 on Amazon, $16 to $20. The price fluctuates a little bit. But what I love about this pen is the form factor. It is so small, and I always have it in my pocket, so I want as little bulge as possible. So as you can see, it's really tiny, but the cool thing is that when you open it up and actually put the cap on, it becomes a full-size pen. So it's really comfortable to write with, and most importantly, it's super reliable. I've written on so many different types of paper. The ink never stops flowing. It looks really nice, and it just has a nice hefty weight to it. And also, it's refillable, so you just unscrew it, and you can buy the cartridges on Amazon or your favorite store, and just refill it. And it's hopefully a pen that will last you for many years. The next thing that I want to show kind of pairs nicely with the pen, and that's a little pocket notebook. So this is a Field Notes 48-page memo book. There's a lot of different types of notebooks that are out there. You can get a moleskin or just some lined spiraled notebook from CVS for $1. I personally like the Field Notes. I really like how they look. This one in particular has kind of the more grid paper, so not lined, which I think is just kind of unique and different. I don't sketch or anything by any means, but I kind of like the look. And this is super tiny, and I can easily throw this in another one of my pockets. I usually put it in my back pocket. And it's just really nice to have to, as I mentioned earlier, make a to-do list of places I want to see in the city, to write down directions. Sometimes I'll just, if I have any ideas for blog posts or ideas for trips for my travel videos when I'm out and about in a different city around the world, I'll just write it down. And this is something that nowadays it's become so popular to do this on your phone and use some sort of Evernote or OneNote app, and that's really cool, and I use those as well. But typically when I'm traveling in a place I don't know, I like to avoid taking out my phone as much as possible, just to kind of, stay on the safe side. So this is a good alternative, and it's also a really good thing to have. Like if you want to make a note and just tear a page out and give it to somebody, it's a lot easier than whipping out your phone and possibly not having service and having to send it to somebody and exchange contact info. So it's just really convenient to have. And I also like this Field Notes just because it has a little ruler here and some tips for uses. So these typically come in a pack of 3. I'll be linking down below in the description to Amazon where you could buy all of these items. So I would definitely recommend giving Field Notes a chance. And if not, just make sure that whenever you're heading out, you have some sort of notebook on you along with your pen. The next item that I always like to have on me is a watch. So for a long time, I wasn't a watch wearer. I was in the camp that believed that with a phone, I no longer needed a watch. I always have the time on me. But I've come to realize that a watch has a lot of different uses that are really nice. So one of them is that it just looks nice. I really like the look of the different watches and how they pair with my outfits. And in particular, this watch, this is a Timex. It's not the Weekender. I'll put the exact model number in the link below. But it has a little bit larger of a face, 41 millimeters, I believe, as opposed to the typical 38 millimeters that you see on a lot of Weekenders. And I really like this watch because it's very minimalist. It doesn't call a lot of attention to itself. It's got a very clean, simple design. And I really like that it has the NATO watch strap. So there's tons and tons of different straps you can buy on Amazon that you can interchange. So really you're getting like 20 watches in one. I have black straps, I have brown and black leather straps, I have gray straps. So there, and I also like the silver case, which kind of makes it easy to match with a lot of different outfits. This watch also has a light, so if it's nighttime, you can just check the time really quickly. And the watch, in addition to being nice to look at and having a lot of different straps, it's just really nice to have a watch and not, once again, have to pull out your phone to check out the time. The less you can kind of be flashing your phone around in a variety of areas, the better. So I definitely recommend having any watch on you. If you're looking for a simple, reliable option that's also water resistant, I definitely recommend giving this Timex a look. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll be linking down to it below in the description. And the last item that I always like to focus having on my person is a multi-tool. So these two in particular are some of my favorites. One of the biggest things is that they are TSA approved, both of them. So I've traveled multiple times through security and never had any issues. When I'm in my home state, when I'm walking around, I typically have some sort of a pocket knife with me, but don't want to try to get onto a flight with one of those these days. So when I'm out and about internationally, I still like to have some sort of tool in case I need to unscrew something, or even just having a bottle opener. You never really know what these are going to come in handy for, but there's always some use for them. So these are, as I mentioned, are two of my favorites. So the first one I have here is the Gerber Shard. And when I first ordered this, I expected it to be a little bit bigger. So I thought that, for example, this pry bar would be a little bit more powerful, but at the same time, it's really well made. The small form factor actually ended up being a positive because it's that much easier to carry in my pocket, and it's probably that much less likely to call attention going through security. So this has several different uses. It has a Phillips head screwdriver here at the top. It has a flathead screwdriver here. As I mentioned earlier, it has kind of a pry bar to help pull up staples, or if you were trying to open a lid or something. It has a bottle opener here. It has a wire stripper and a wire stripper here, and then a loophole so you can clip it onto your keys and just carry it around with you. And this has been really, really reliable so far. I've also been able to use this edge here to almost as like a mini knife to open up packages, or just cut string every once in a while if I need to, or if I'm tying my bags together. So as you can see, tons of different uses, and it's really, really cheap. I think it's $6 or $7 on Amazon. So I would recommend checking this out or having something like that while you're traveling. The other one that I use sometimes as an alternative, this is what I used before I got the Gerber Shard. This is a Nite Ize. It's kind of a combination keychain and multi-tool, so I really like that it has a little carabiner here, so you can carry your keys around if you have your luggage keys, or any variety of things you want to clip on there, or if you want to clip this onto a belt loop. I also like that it has kind of a mini ruler here for inches. It also has a bottle opener. It has a flathead screwdriver, and the edge here is a little bit sharper, so it's meant to be a box cutter, which is also a nice feature to have. And in addition to that, it also has some hex some hex holes here so that you can possibly unscrew things on a bike or something like that. And once again, this is also really small, really easy to kind of just throw in your pocket or throw it onto your keychain and throw it in a bag. And it's just really nice to have these for any little things that are going to come up during your trip. So once again, here are the items that I typically have as part of my travel EDC. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll be doing a full video later on all the tech items that I typically pack for when traveling for trips. So thanks so much, and I definitely recommend giving these items a shot, and look forward to the next one. Thank you.